All right, in terms of the weather, turning out to be another fabulous day today. We have one more day tomorrow, just like it has been the last several days. So your Thursday is looking nice as well. Now, tomorrow night, we're going to go through a bit of a transition as a front approaches. It's going to bring us some showers and maybe a few downpours tomorrow night. And then on the other side of the front, it'll be humid for Friday and for Saturday. It looks like Friday, though. You know what? If you like the summertime feel, it's going to be a fine day. It'll just feel a little bit more like August. And then Saturday, we're probably going to have to deal with another round of downpours and rain, especially Saturday afternoon as we go into the evening. So our rain chances, again, are tomorrow night, Thursday night, and then Saturday afternoon and evening. It's not going to be a washout. We'll time these downpour showers, maybe a few thunderstorms on Saturday, the closer we get to it. I know it's the weekend. We've had so many nice weekends in a row. It does look like Sunday is rain-free for the most part, but Saturday, especially late in the day, we might have to contend with some downpours, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. Highs today, right near 80. That'll be the case tomorrow as well. And then the humidity builds in, and with that, temperatures coming up into the low, maybe even squeezing in some mid-80s. Come Friday and Saturday, but much cooler and drier starting Sunday, and that may last through most of next week. So right now we just have a few cumulus clouds across southern New England, some showers across central and northern New England, but this is the front that we're going to be watching that will be approaching our area as we go through the day tomorrow. We'll get through the daylight hours rain-free, and then tomorrow night, that's when we could see some of that rainfall. So for tonight, a clear sky, back down to around 50. Tomorrow we'll have plenty of sunshine. Few clouds build in during the afternoon. It's warm, but it's not overly humid. Dew points come up just a little bit into the 50s, but still really nice. And then it's tomorrow night after dark. We'll go mostly cloudy, and that's when some showers will move in. 8, 9, 10 o'clock might catch a bit of a break, and then some more showers and a few downpours moving through during the wee hours of the morning, and then this should move out around sunrise on Friday. Could pick up maybe a couple of tenths of an inch of rain from this front. Now, this front moves through, but it's falling apart. It's not like behind the front we dry right back out. It's actually humid on Friday, and it's warm. But the next rain chance probably isn't until Saturday as a second cold front comes through. That's your next weather maker. Out ahead of it on Saturday, we have some sunshine, clouds mix, temperatures come back up into the low, maybe mid-80s if we see enough sun. And then in the afternoon, we'll have some downpours and maybe even a few thunderstorms embedded as well. Whether or not it's strong and severe, most likely not, but something we'll be watching for Saturday afternoon and evening. Then the drier air works back in starting Sunday. So rain totals on for the second half of Saturday and Saturday night, maybe up to about a half an inch of rainfall, depending on how things play out, if you get caught in one of the downpours or thunderstorms. So tomorrow it's a little bit more humid, but still nice. And then it is humid Friday and Saturday, and right back to the drier conditions Sunday and just about all of next week. So highs on Friday, upper 70s across the hill towns, low to maybe some mid 80s in the valley. And Sunday, that may end up being the warmest day, depending on how much sun we see. Either way, it's the most humid day. And then that rain comes in mid-afternoon as we go into the evening. Sunday looks nice, and that nice, dry, cooler weather will stick around for all of next week the way it looks now, right back to the pattern that we're in, and that may last through the beginning of the Big E. Okay, that's your forecast for now. Have a great evening. Chris, we'll see you in a little bit.